Now today let us see in the last example of journal proper, we are going to observe the closing journal entries. The last classification of journal proper, the closing journal. Now what that closing journal means? Closing journal entry means at the end of the year, when we close all our books of account to know whether we have done the profit or not, whether it is a profitable business or a loss making under organization. So to know that, we need to prepare final account. See, we prepare our basic books, all the books, subsidiary books, from the subsidiary book, journal proper and all we have done. After that we prepare the ledger. Ledger gives us the balance. With the help of the balances, we prepare our trial balance. And the trial balance help us to prepare the final account. The final account consists of three things, two account and one statement. The one is the trading account, second is the profit and loss account, and third is the balance sheet. So what the trading account? Trading account means the closing journal entry we write and we transfer all the expenses, direct nature expense and direct nature income into the trading account. That account gives us a gross profit. Then we prepare a profit and loss account. So from the trial balance, all the indirect nature expenses and indirect income are transferred to profit and loss account. That will give us a net profit or a net loss. And all the assets and liabilities, balances are to be transferred from one financial year to another financial year in the balance sheet. For that, direct balances are transferred. So here, to know our gross profit or to know our gross net profit, we prepare the trading and profit and loss account, and the process of transferring all the expenses and income account into the respective account of final account, whatever journal entry you write, that is known as a closing journal entry. So now the last portion of the journal proper is closing journal entry. That question is question number 9 on the page number 200 of your textbook. So let us see how closing journal entries are derived. So here in the trading account, the direct expenses means what sort of a direct expense? The trading expense. We purchase and you sell. Purchase and purchase related expense are considered as direct. So that is your purchase expense, wages, octroi, carriage, inward. Inward means coming in. That is related to purchase. And the sales return. In direct income, you have the income of a sales and you have the purchase return. That is what rewarded by the trader when we have sold the goods and we are returning them goods back to them. So in this manner, direct, and the same manner indirect. Indirect, we have expense like office and administrative expense, advertisement expense, and like salary, rent, commission, carriage. Outward, outward means related to sales, what you are doing expense. Interest paid, advertisement, like that. So with the help of this basic knowledge, now we can derive the journal entries for the closing entries. The first is that prepare the journal proper to close the following accounts. The very first is interest expense account. See, the word interest is common. Interest may be income also, it may be expense also. So the expense word you have to underline. So you can know that it is expense. Now interest is a indirect expense. So it will go to the P&L on the debit side. So easily you can derive the journal entry. The journal that what P&L account debit to interest account credit. This is P&L account. This is on the debit side. You can see the interest will fall. So P&L account debit to interest account credit. Because we want to close the interest account and we are putting it on the debit side of P&L. So your first journal entry, that is profit and loss account debit to interest account, amount is rupees 1000. And the narration to be written, that being closing journal entry, transfer of interest to profit and loss account. Second is the sales return account. Sales return means goods which are sold by you and your debtor is transferred again, giving back us to in the business. So sales return comes on the debit side of trading account. So your journal entry become trading account debit to sales return account credit. So write down the second journal entry. Trading account debit to sales return account, that amount is 3000 rupees. So we are closing our sales return account from our ledger trial balance, and that we are transferring to the trading account debit side, being sales return account closed and transferred to trading account. Next is, that is the purchase return. What the purchase return means? That we have purchased the goods and we are giving back to our trader. So that purchase return will fall on the credit side of trading account. So your journal entry become purchase return account debit to trading account credit. So number 3, purchase return account debit to trading account. Your transaction amount is 2000 rupees, being closing journal entry for purchase return. You have next fourth, interest received. Underline received. Interest may be an expense also, and interest may be an income also. Received means it is your income. Income will go on the P&L account credit side. So your journal entry become interest received account debit to P&L account credit. So your journal entry number 4, that is interest account debit. You can write interest received also to P&L account credit. See, when you are writing on the credit side, it means that it is a income. So the amount is 800 rupees, being interest received, closed and transferred to P&L account. Number 5, advertisement expense. It is an indirect expense. It will come on the debit side of your P&L. So your journal entry become P&L account debit to advertisement account credit. Number 5, profit and loss account debit to advertisement account. Your amount is rupees 1500. So we have transferred advertisement expense as an indirect expense to the debit side of P&L. Next is salary account, 4000. 6, salary, again it is an indirect expense, a journal entry like the advertisement only. P&L account debit to salary account credit. It means that all the indirect nature expenses will go to the debit side of P&L. You have the amount 4000 rupees, being closing entry for salary account. 7th, dividend received. Received means your income. And what sort of an income? Dividend. What the dividend means? When we have purchased the shares of the company, the part of profit which company gives to the shareholder, that is a dividend. So dividend is an income that will go on the credit side of P&L account. So the journal entry become dividend account debit to P&L account credit. Number 7, dividend account debit to P&L account credit. Amount is rupees 700, being dividend received, closed and transferred to P&L account. Then you have the purchase account. Number next, purchase. Purchase is one of the most important direct expense. So that will go to the trading account on the debit side. So the journal entry become trading account debit to purchase account. Account debit to purchase account, amount is rupees 5,000. Being closing journal entry for purchase account. The next is sales account 10,000. Whatever goods we purchase, we always purchase to sell it out. So sales is our major direct income that will go on the credit side of trading account. So journal entry becomes sales account debit to trading account credit. Number 9. Sales account debit to trading account. The amount is rupees 10,000. So in this manner, how many account you have? All account of expense and income are either to be transferred to trading or to be transferred to P&L. Based on the nature, direct income will go to the trading credit, direct expense will go to the trading debit, indirect expense P&L debit, indirect income P&L credit. So that much you must know whether it is direct or indirect. Then you have to do the total. The total going to be all together 28,000. You need to close the account always. And the only point is how to identify whether it is direct or indirect. Direct means related to purchase and purchase related expense. Indirect means administrative, financial nature and the distribution expenses. All these will come under indirect. Like that, direct income means the sales income. The main is the sales income. And indirect means the indirect, all income which you derive from the bank interest or dividend or rent or commission or a bad debt return, like that. Any other than sales income considered to be indirect. So like this you have to prepare the closing journal entries, and those journal entries are based on trading or P&L. I hope you understood. Thank you.